The Big Five is the largest and most influential building and construction show in the region. Tomorrow it opens for another year, celebrating its 40th anniversary. At the centre of the event remains knowledge and industry best practices. Ben Greenish is Senior Vice President of the Construction Division at DMG Events, the show's organiser. He's with us here in the studio. Great to have you with us, Ben, back with us, I should say. Yeah. What factors do you think are currently driving the construction sector?
I think there's no question that there's been a bit of a downturn in output over the last couple of years. I think it would be wrong to assume otherwise. But I think the fundamentals of construction here remain pretty sound. And if I tell you that at some stages in the pipeline, there's $500 billion of projects waiting to come to fruition here in Dubai alone, that makes you realise it's still a very significant industry. It puts it puts the United Arab Emirates as number 2 in the region for projects coming. And these are things like the big master planning residential areas that include retail and commercial sites. You only have to drive around Dubai and you're seeing infrastructure developments, you're seeing new roads and flyovers. If you drive around the Palm, there's a tremendous amount of construction there. Abu Dhabi is working more on cultural and residential. And the other big driver, of course, is Expo 2020. Nearing completion, there's still a lot of infrastructure, the site needs completing, but very excitingly, of course, it needs converting to its legacy programme once the Expo is over. So there's plenty of work in the offing.
Now, Ben, there are 2 firsts for the Big Five exhibition, which opens, as you mentioned, tomorrow. There's a new construction industry report and the first CEO forum. So let's first of all talk about the construction industry report. What's all that about?
So here it is, published today and will be released tomorrow. This is a big research report. Given the relative uncertainty of construction output around the region, but the constant of the Big Five, you say 40 years and still going strong, we thought we should take the responsibility to survey business owners, construction companies, government, developers in the region and get their perception as to what's really happening on the ground. 2 stats to give you. Of business owners, 56% scored satisfaction in their company's output at 4 or 5 out of 5, which is very strong, and 61% of CEOs said they're expecting turnover to grow next year. So the report looks at, we questioned 6,000 people in 36 different countries. We look in detail at the 12 major economies in the region here, and it should give people who are trying to plan for their business's immediate future a lot of insight as to where the opportunities lie.
Another first then, it's the inaugural CEO forum. What's going to be taking place there?
It's sort of following on from this a little bit. We feel very strongly that our responsibility to construction, that we should do our best to bring together thought leaders, to bring industry leaders and government personnel together to discuss the issues in construction, whether it's about skills or development or other opportunities. So it's the first forum tomorrow. We've got 150 CEOs coming to get together, to network and have the opportunity to talk about construction development here in the region.
Ben, the Big Five, as we mentioned, is celebrating 4 decades. Quite incredible. Back in 1979 it started, of course. What are the plans being put in place so that it keeps going for another 40 years?
That's a very good question. I've not been with the Big Five. I mean, it looked like I've been there 40 years, but I've not been there 40 years. I've been there a short while, and it's quite astonishing. The first Big Five exhibition was 40 years ago. I believe it was in a tent next to the Dubai Creek. And now here we are 40 years later, occupying the whole of the World Trade Center, where we're expecting 68,000 visitors over the next 4 days. And it's really an enormous and fantastic event. But as the industry evolves and changes, 20 years ago it was all about could you get supply, could you get staff, could you build things fast enough? Now as the market matures, we have to follow the market as well, and we have to become more strategic in our thinking, and we have to provide content that enables people to plan for their future businesses.
Appreciate you coming in this evening, Ben Greenish. Good luck with the conference. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure. Thank you.